Hello, friends and colleagues. My name is Daniel Peña, and I just want to share a little bit with you with regards to how I use translanguaging in my multi language classroom. Now, for me, one of the important components is the full linguistic and non linguistic repertoire use for gaining understanding. Now, one of the premises that I operate under is that students bring with them their own funds of knowledge, right? So, independent of their background, whether they went to college or university or never attended school, every student, because they've lived on this world, they have acquired some kind of knowledge. It can be, as mentioned, academic. It can be something relating to livestock. It can be to home economics or any, but there is knowledge. Somebody is alive, they're going to be bound to learn something. So understanding that students come to the classroom with this information is really important when it comes time to teach or instruct with regards to certain concepts. So what I like to do is I like to incorporate things from pop culture, such as Transformers, in this particular case, to explain the to be verb. Now, typically in my classes, I have a large group of Spanish speaking students. I have some that Mixteco is their first language and Spanish is their second. And I have another group of Slavic speaking students, typically Ukrainian students. Um, and so I am bilingual Spanish, and therefore it's very easy for me to switch to English and Spanish and connect concepts. For example, again, the to be verb, I explain it in Spanish as, yo is I, the pronouns that go with the ser estar verbs, the to be verbs, right? So that's pretty straightforward with the Spanish speakers. Now, where I have to get creative is with the Ukrainian speakers because I do not speak Ukrainian. But what I do is I try to rely on their knowledge of pop culture, right? Their non linguistic repertoire, what they know about the world. And I use transformers to explain how the to be verb appears in different forms, but it's still the to be verb. So, for example, I will say, okay, guys, and then I'm using the translator, Google Translate on the phone. And I use short sentences to ensure that the translation is pretty straightforward. So I'll tell them, okay, class, like Transformers, and then blah 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 blah. And then I say the Transformers, the to be verb, and then the robot, and then you have the plane, you have a boat, and then you have a car. So whenever I use I am that verb is the boat. When I use he, she, it, and then I use is the plane. And then finally, you, we, they, yes, you, we, they are, that is the car, but it's still the same to be verb. And I can tell by their expressions that they're nodding in agreement, like understanding. And then I'll show them, like I'll draw on the board, I'll like an airplane, a plane. What is this? And then I can't remember the example I gave right now, but it's I am, and then I show them the boat, and they're like, oh, is he, she, it is, and then I show them the car, my broken picture of a car, and then they're like, oh, are, and then that's how I understand that they are understanding. And at the same time, I also one of the components of translanguaging is to make students feel that their voices are heard. So I position myself as a learner also. So I ask them, okay, how do I say you in Ukrainian? How do I say they in Mixteco? And then I try so that they can see that we're all learners. So that's essentially how I apply translanguaging practices in my class for teaching the to be verb. Furthermore, I want to add that translanguaging for bilingual and multilingual students is nothing new. It's something that we've been doing most of our lives. The incorporation of other words from other languages to communicate ideas, and actually, some things are easier to communicate in one language or the other. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this short little presentation of how I apply translanguaging to teach the to be verb. And if you have any questions, ask my colleagues. Thank you. Bye bye.